Well, he was the can't-miss kid. Brian Sager, a star pitcher for the Branford High School baseball team. Big-time colleges, agents, and major league teams all making offers. Injuries kept him from the majors, but now, years later, he's helping people with their injuries. John Pierson shares this Brian Sager journey.
They say that scars are tattoos with better stories, and I think mine has a pretty good story.
His story is as long as his scar, and it runs pretty deep.
It's almost as if it were two different lives.
Brian Sager is more grateful for what he has than what he lost.
It's a great thing to go out there on the mound and know you can just blow the ball by someone.
That's him. As a teenager, he seemed to have everything.
I've been coaching for 32 years. He's the best player that I've ever coached. Attitude-wise, talent-wise, work ethic.
An All-American high school pitcher in the late 90s, a straight-A student, Sager was a can't-miss kid.
Everybody was telling me a certain thing was going to happen in my life, and a lot of it was disbelief. A lot of it was not really realizing how good I was.
Major League Baseball knew. Scouts flocked to his games. Teams were ready to make a $1 million offer. College recruiters knew too. Sager had his pick. All the big schools wanted him.
It was very overwhelming, and it's a lot for 16, 17, 18-year-old kid to deal with at once.
A quiet, withdrawn teenager outside of baseball, this walk always led him to his safe place.
Putting me out on a mound and letting me do my thing out there by myself and be successful was heaven for me, because it was just me, the ball, and the hitter.
His grip on the baseball was strong. Sager's pitches dazzled. Getting a grip on himself, though, was another story.
Being Brian Sager, the baseball player, was what kind of really formed my identity when I was in high school. I'd never learned who Brian was, just being part of the crowd.
The more he pitched, the more attention he drew. His dad, Dan, was there the whole way, protecting his son, some would say to a fault.
He was a very strong guy, and he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Through the process, the Sagers brought on Uber agent Scott Boras as an advisor. A projected first-round draft pick, they turned down a $1 million major league offer to attend college at Stanford.
There's no doubt I went the right way with that. Everybody sees the $1 million, and what is he thinking? Why did he do that? It was irreplaceable, my time at Stanford. To get an education, you can't put a price on that.
The college baseball experience had its ups and downs. After a couple of years at Stanford, Sager transferred to Georgia Tech, and that's when the arm troubles began.
I got to my junior year at Georgia Tech, and my arm hurt so bad I couldn't pitch anymore.
It was the beginning of the end for Sager's baseball career. His first surgery gave him a pain-free pitching arm, and after Tech, he signed with the Chicago White Sox. But a second surgery loomed, and that was followed by a third.
All in the same area, so basically they have to dissect the arm out, follow the path of the radial nerve, and see where the radial nerve is caught. The last procedure, they removed a 10-inch portion of my saphenous vein and made a casing for the radial nerve. It's a procedure known as a vein wrap. In the end, I'm glad I had each surgery. I took it as far as it could go.
His patience led to 3 years and about 30 innings of minor league baseball. Sager's arm was never the same.
Last time I was on the mound was Battle Creek, Michigan in May of 2004. My arm hurt so bad I could barely grip the baseball. It was time.
There was a cycle of anger and denial, and eventually sadness when Brian lost his father. All he knew was gone.
It was a very difficult thing when he passed, because we really never got the opportunity to develop a friendship that didn't consist of baseball.
Lost, it took Sager time to find his path, another walk that put him at ease. He went back to school.
Interesting.
Nursing school.
And like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yes, sir, it does.
He is really a shining light at the school. He brings a smile to every room.
So you know how this goes, my friend. My attempts to become an inconspicuous nursing student have been somewhat thwarted. I only played 3 years of minor league baseball. I had a really unusual injury, which kind of led me into the medical direction.
Fitting in this time seems to be easier. At St. Vincent's in Bridgeport, he has found answers to questions he had nearly 20 years ago.
I am a lot happier now than I ever was pitching and doing all these things, because I really didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I like to do other than get on a mound.
The school's Dean of Nursing, Karen Barnett, sees a bright future for Sager, who has all the important qualities to be a successful RN.
He is very compassionate, and it comes through in everything he does. It's not just with the patients. Everyone gets to grow a little bit when they're around Brian.
I do have a great sense of humor, that I do like people. I like being around people. I love interacting with people.
Seger believes whatever led him here, good or bad, happened for a reason. He just wishes his father was here to enjoy the walk.
It's very cathartic in a sense to know that I found something that I love. I found something that I'm happy doing, and I feel that that would make him proud. I always had a sense of belonging. I always had a sense of purpose in baseball, but that's a very limited time frame of your life. I feel that this is more of a lifelong endeavor for me. This is more of a sense of belonging, a sense of being in the right place.